Hey y'all, it's the Ripper back with you today. Hey, it's a beautiful blue sunny sky, and hey, we're welcoming that with open arms. We've had a lot of rain, we hadn't been able to get out and ride. We're gonna go out today on our lunch break and limber up our legs. I wanna see how the Lectric 750 Express does riding Ridge Road on some of the roughest roads around here. But I honestly got a idea that it's gonna do really good. Hey, we'll stop out there somewhere and we'll let y'all have a look at the bike, and we might tell you a story along the way. Y'all come right along with the Ripper on the Lectric XPRESS 750. Roll that intro. All right, Leah, we're gonna be riding the Lectric XPRESS. I've only got 2 rides on this bike. Well, 3 actually. I rode it to church 2 times. And then I rode it down in Bay St. Louis for the initial review. And yeah, I've enjoyed it every time I've gotten on it. Today's ride is just gonna be a limber up my legs ride, y'all. I've been sitting at the desk too long. This is let me tell you about the weather first. It's 76 degrees. Now you get in this shade here where we're at now, it's pretty cool. Well, I mean, it's probably 70. But if you get out in this hot sun right here, it gets hot quick. And I was there tinkering around on something there on the table there by the shed earlier. And I tell you what, that sun was getting hot on my bald head. So yeah, we just getting out to limber up our legs some. We hadn't rode probably 2 weeks, y'all, since I've ridden. What the old truck's doing here. You okay, bud?
Yeah, I left my gate open.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'll bring my trailer over here and get it.
You want it?
No, I ain't.
Okay, I was going to say, I will leave it.
No, I'll
Don't leave it in the pile and be...
Nah. All right.
Yes, sir.
Catch you later, brother. It's pretty sand, but I ain't going back over there with no shovel. If I want some sand, I'll get Mark Schomer to bring me some. There's the horses, but I don't see none. They must be, yeah, I see them back in the back. We'll hit them with the bell anyway. Yeah, we hit the farm animals with the bell. Yeah, we got the Lectric XPRESS running along like a well-oiled machine, y'all. Really enjoy the bike. I'm gonna tell y'all before we go any further that if you want to see the initial review on this bike, look down in the end of the video, and that's where you'll find it. That's the one we did down at Bay St. Louis. The weather, well, I started telling y'all about the weather, and I run up on that truck driver there, stopped to talk to him. But it has rained here. It's either rained or it's looked like rain you can't take off, or either it's been drizzling or something or another for the past 2 weeks. It's just been wet. So today it's 76 degrees, but it's humid as all get out. And I had to bring me some water. I know I ain't going far, just on a lunch break ride, but I brought me some water. I wanted to ride on Ridge Road, y'all, so I could see how this bike is gonna perform on a rough road. Now, I'll stop and show y'all the bike here in a little bit. Whenever I took it to Bay St. Louis and did that ride down there, what was I talking about? Whenever I took it to Bay St. Louis down there, those roads down there are pretty good. Anyway, I had the, it came with one of these little pogo stick suspension seat post. And, well, that's what Rich calls it anyway, pogo stick. But it does a good job, and I said I was not gonna change it out. And I would have been happy with that. But lo and behold, somebody came along and wanted it. And he's a man that's elder to me. And I know he probably needed it. So I let him have it. Yeah, I let him have the suspension seat post. He wanted me to order him one and all that, and I just, you know, just take this one. If anybody orders one, I'll order one. So I'm probably gonna pick one up. But as for right now, I have the Sun Tour suspension seat post on here. And it does a good job. We getting on over the road. We about running along here in pedal assist 3. Speed is about 18.2. That's about my favorite speed right there. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about the bike a little bit. Talk about what's been going on with Rip One Outdoors. We might even tell you a story. We might try to slip a story in there if nobody will mind. We might tell y'all a goat story. Let's ride down this way. We ain't been to check on the cows in a long time, y'all. I feel like it's been forever. Yeah, see how wet and damp the road is here? It's bad. The humidity has been bad. Mickey is selling his Magicycle Deer. Selling it to a buddy of mine. Been a lot of bike dealing here lately, you know, people wanting bikes, and I ordered bikes for people, things like that, helping them get them. But yeah, it's been pretty busy. I guess a lot of people getting things for before Christmas, you know. But yeah, we've been pretty busy. But Mickey brought his Magicycle Deer, and he's gonna sell it. He's selling it to a boy. He kind of grew up around us there. Yeah, Mickey bought it to the house so he could come there and pick it up. Well, I see the cows is way back in yonder. I think we'll just turn around here. But Mickey he'd come down, rode down early this morning, and he had that deer on the back of his truck. And man, I mean to tell you, that thing was sopping wet with the fog, because he drove through fog all the way. But you know, hey, it's good. It ain't nothing gonna hurt about that deer. That deer will be fine. Well, there's the old Edmund Fitzgerald sitting there. It ain't went no worse. Y'all remember that one? Ain't nobody come and clean these old boats up. Man, it seems like it's been forever since I've been over this way, but it's been the weather bad or something or another. It has been getting cold here. Not as cold as what you guys are up at north are having it. And I hate that, I hate riding around down here with short sleeves, and you guys are pretty much shut down, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll enjoy our ride, and we'll do it for you guys up north. This ride's for you. Getting ready for Christmas. I guess everybody's got their Christmas shopping done. I bought me a special Christmas gift. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm just one day you'll see a video pop up, okay? But I think it's gonna be pretty nice. It hadn't been much dirt hauling over here lately because it's just been so wet. I mean, last week, one day, it rained 10 inches in 2 days. Certain intervals of 2 days, it rained 10 inches, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, that beat all I ever seen. I never seen rain like that around here. All them old pits over in yonder that I used to ride around with the bikes, they're all full now. This old pit here is full. I think while we're riding, we're just gonna ride on up to Walmart. Maybe come down by the airport. Look how pretty blue sky it is, y'all. That's nice. Anyway, I told y'all I was gonna get around and tell a story. This is a this is a sheep story. Y'all know I used to have raised sheep and goats. I started out, I raised goats first. And then I decided I wanted to get into the hair sheep. And I mean, what I mean by hair sheep, that's the sheep that's not wool sheep. You don't have to shear them. What little bit of wool or hair they have, it falls off in the summertime. And they'll get slick and pretty. But every year, you know, them ewes would lamb, and I'd always wind up having 5 or 6 new lambs. And a lot of times I would keep them lambs and I'd sell some of the older sheep, but sometimes I would just sell the lambs once they got weaned. Yeah, I would just sell the lambs. And yeah, at that time I think I was putting them on Craigslist. And I had somebody call me. They said, we from Rankin County and we want to come down and buy your sheep. Now, when I say I had like young lambs, I mean these things were like 3 or 4 months old, and they were pretty good sized sheep by then. I can tell you this much: the way them sheep are is, if you're planning on catching them and doing anything with them, like worming them or vaccinating them or anything like that, if you don't have some kind of a catch system in your field, you better be there when they drop, because about an hour after they drop, you can't catch them. You run them all day. You run them till your tongue hangs out and you can't catch them. I had the sheep, the way I'd catch them is I'd let them come in the barn at night. Whenever I'd put them up in the barn, I'd shut the door so no coyotes get in there to them. On that occasion, I wanted to catch just the young ones. So I got up the next morning and I put all the old ones out, and I just kept the ones that I was gonna sell. And the man told me, he said, I'll be down there about such and such time. And he drove up, and it was him and his wife, and y'all, they were in a minivan, like a Chrysler or a Plymouth Voyager, something like that. Yeah, they were in a minivan. And I told the man, I said, well, here they are right around here. I said, you're welcome to come and look at them. But I said, I see you didn't bring nothing to haul them in. So that means I'm gonna have to catch them again. He said, oh no. He said, we got something to haul them in. I said, well, what you gonna haul them in? He said, I'm gonna haul them in that van. I said, you're gonna haul sheep in that van? It's the kind that was open all the way from the front to the back. And I couldn't believe it when he told me that. I said, well, what's going to keep them from getting up in there in the front with you where you're driving, you and your wife? He said, we brought along some big old pieces of cardboard. And we're going to throw that cardboard up in here behind our seat and jam it in there. He said, they ain't going to come up in there. I said, okay. Well, my brother Donald lived over there at the White House at that time. And I knew he was home. It was a Saturday. I texted Donald. I said, Donald, you're not going to want to miss this. I said, you need to come on over to the barn. And Donald walked over there. But yeah, Donald walked over there, and you believe it or not, I mean, sheep are sheep. They're gonna poop and they're gonna pee and they're gonna do everything that sheep do. Especially when you put them inside of a coop or you pin them up somewhere. There was Old Glory, I didn't even acknowledge it. Maybe we'll catch it on the way back, y'all. Oh man, look at this red Jeep up here, huh? Isn't that pretty? check that out, would you? Ain't that pretty? I tell you what's pretty about it. The price, right? They don't give them Jeeps away. But yeah, Donald come over there and we watched. That guy, he proceeded, he put 5 sheep up in that minivan. And they put a piece of cardboard and they took some string and they tied that cardboard behind their headrest and all. And they left out of there. They was going all the way back to Jackson. Jackson is about 3 hours away, and that's where they live. Yeah, they come all the way down 3 hours to buy sheep and put them in a minivan, and they can haul them back to Jackson. Y'all, that just beat anything I'd ever seen in my life. Yeah, there's been a couple of times that me and Donald has actually summoned one another to come and look at something. And on one occasion, our neighbors down the road there had about 60, 80 acres of land over across from the house. And they had an old tractor. I'm pretty sure it was an old farmall, and it was one of these pop tractors. They just pop. On your right here, sir. He didn't hear me. This thing quiet. Walmart's pretty busy right now, y'all. Everybody trying to get Christmas shopping done. We pretty much done. Susan starts our Christmas shopping in July. It's the pickup area. Y'all recognize this. But anyway, Donald telling me one day, said, Richard, what are you doing? Texted me and, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting around the house here, wondering what to do. And he said, walk over here a minute. I walked over there, and this old pop tractor that I was telling y'all about, the boys had turned that thing upside down there on the hill in the back of the property there. And this was back in the 70s, okay? And somebody found out they had that old tractor, and they come down there and they bought that tractor from them, and they literally had to take chainsaws and cut the trees from around the tractor that had grew up in it. And lo and behold, you probably figured out where this is going. They fired that thing up, and they drove that thing out of there, and they put it up on a trailer, and they hauled it away from there. Another time I seen something, I said, man, I have seen some strange things in my time. Yeah, talk about goats. Of course, I fooled with goats and sheep for years. I enjoyed fooling with the goats now. The goats were more entertaining than what the sheep were. That's why I like to fool with the goats. But yet, the sheep had a highly resistant to disease. Some of them things can live years and years. But goats, it's according to what they were eating. If they eat the wrong thing, it'd make them sick. Next thing you know, you got a dead goat. But one time, I went off out to the sale barn, and I picked up I bought about 4 or 5 goats. They look pretty good, you know, from the sale barn. They look pretty good. I bought them and got them back home, put them in the pen with mine. And y'all, some of them things had come down with the pink eye. How's it going?
How's it going?
Good. Fixing to do something or another. But yeah, some of them goats come down with the pink eye. And then they spread it to some goats that I already had. And it wound up, I had 11 goats that had the pink eye at the same time. Some of them only had the pink eye in one eye, but most of them had the pink eye in both eyes. You know what happened? It blinded them. They couldn't see. And I'm gonna tell you, that was the awfulest sight I had ever seen in my life. I tried on home ribbon. Some of the old farmers, you know, told me, said, you hold them and you throw salt in their eyes, and then you squeeze them. Then you squeeze a lemon in their eyes. I just said, wait a minute. Are you pranking me, or am I in my own candid camera or something or another? There ain't no way I'm gonna hold a goat and pour lemon juice in its eyes. I said, that would burn me. And they said, that's what it takes to heal that pink eye. And I'm kind of like, Lord, I ain't never heard of no such thing. But I did it. And to tell you the truth, did it work? I don't know if it worked or not. I know after a while they just started kind of healing themselves of it, I guess. But I had a buddy of mine come there and dig me a trash hole. Pretty good sized trash hole. I call it trash hole, but all I did was use it to burn limbs and tree trunks and stuff like that. Just burn stuff. It was a burn pit. That's what it was. I tried to keep all the sick goats, the ones that had the pink eye, tried to keep them shut up in the barn. And so I could doctor them. Although it wasn't hard to catch them, because if it was blind, all you had to do was sneak up behind them and just grab them. But as I said, some of them could see out of one eye, and it'd be a little hard to get. But one day, the old billy goat got tired of not being able to get in there with them sick goats, and he went up there and beat on the door until he beat the door latch open. And he got up in there. Well, he went up in there with them. Well, the main thing was that they got out, and I was going off to work. And I come in from work, and the first thing I always done was just look up in the field, make sure I still had goats. I looked up there, I didn't see no goats. Looked down in the other lower part of the field, there was a few. I said, this ain't all of them. And I looked, and I started walking, and I looked, and I finally just hollered, bah, like that, and then I could hear them. You know where they were at? They had fell down in. There was about 4 or 5 of them had fell in that trash hole. And what a mess, what a mess. I had to get ropes and dig them out of there. Y'all look what we got up here, a little helicopter. Okay. Now that's a nice little rig. That's not the jet that usually stays in there. Usually they got a Phenom jet that stays in there. A nice little copter. I'll stop and we'll give y'all a look at that on the way back. So yeah, I got them out of there. I finally got all them goats out of that hole. But you talk about a bunch of sad sacks. I tell you, them goats, that was a sad sight. Well, there it is, y'all. It's a beautiful day at the Picayune Municipal Airport. I fly out of this thing several times a week, but only in the simulator. So I've never ever flown out of it for real, but I'd like to one day. I'm gonna stop up here and take a picture of this little helicopter. All right. Let me tell you what we're gonna do. I hope y'all have enjoyed the ride. I said I was gonna stop and show y'all the bike. I'll stop up here in a minute and show y'all the bike. That's one thing we can do. Let's stop right here. There it is. That's the Lectric 750 XPRESS. Ain't that thing pretty? I love that white, y'all. But yeah, 750 watt motor. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if I had to buy it, if I had to go and buy the bike, I think I would get the 500 watt. because I think that 500 watt is going to have plenty of power based on what this 750 does. This thing has got tremendous amount of power. I like the little tires. It's like 2 1/4 inch tires, and they're perfect. And I showed y'all the adjustable stem. I mean, I don't see like where I need to show y'all that again. But I told y'all I had to take the seat post off and because an elderly man wanted it, and then I gave it to him. But I got one of my Sun Tours on here now. I also put one of my seats on here. That's the Blue Wind seat. And so I got it riding fine, y'all. Anyway, enough of that. We'll get on back down the road. Yeah, see how that thing takes off? That thing has no lack of power. I'll guarantee you that. So with that said, and that pretty blue sky up there, y'all, I think we just turn it back over to y'all. Before we go, we're gonna tell y'all, hey, if you like the looks of this Lectric 750 XPRESS, hey, go check them out. And if you decide to purchase one, use my link. That link's right down there in the description. Yeah, use that link so my channel will get credit for it. We've already sold 1 or 2, and I'm happy about that. And or people's use my links rather. I put my email down there as always, and if y'all got any questions about this bike or anything else that we got, or if I can't answer the question, I'll find somebody that can. And last but not least, y'all, hey, if you find some benefit in this little video, it ain't much. Mostly stories, I guess. But just wanted to demonstrate how the Lectric 750 would run on these rough roads, because y'all know Ridge Road's rough. And honestly, it didn't feel much different than the fat tire bikes. So this is just going to be another good Ridge Road rider for me. We'd appreciate it if y'all would hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that bell notification. And until we see y'all again out here on the trail somewhere, we pray that y'all be blessed. And if we don't see you anymore, we hope y'all have a joyful and Merry Christmas. God bless you.